Debatable episode. I think we're on like 18 right now.
18. Yo, listen, I was just downloading something, man. It told me that I'm down a new, I guess, software on my iOS. It says I got 6 days remaining.
God damn.
Go figure. 6 days. Damn.
Yeah, man. Yo, listen, crazy, man. Yo, what you think about that young thug handed drugs going to trial?
When keeping it real goes wrong?
My man, keeping it real goes wrong. That's like, that was Operation Setup, right?
Yeah, it feels like that. Like, that right there is kind of, sensationalized it pretty much. Like, your man just pulls up on you and just give you a pill.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, was that part of the movie? Like, I don't know. Like, that don't even make any sense. Why wouldn't you hand it to the attorney?
How about that? Anything, yeah. Right? How about that? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that was like Operation Setup.
Exactly.
I mean,
nah, that's a fact.
To make it really look bad for him. He's already like, I don't know, but that was bad. You know what I mean? However you look at that, that was bad.
Yeah,
bad.
It was. But I saw something saying that he's innocent already.
Like, he had nothing to do. He was sitting right there, like
it to him.
It was on camera. Like he just spoke to him.
What's wrong with these guys? Like, it's Operation really trying to take that man down, man.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, man. Well, we're gonna see how that plays out. Yeah, but outside of that, man.
Cardi B.
What happened with Cardi B?
She got community service.
For what?
It's like a strip club assault. She had an assault that took place in a strip club, but the fact that she was able to, she wasn't able to dodge it, and she got to still do a community service. I found that kind of interesting.
For what though? For what in the strip club?
An assault.
An assault from one of them things from back in the day?
Yeah, from back in the day. Okay. But it came back up and she has to, do community service.
That's not that bad though. That's not that bad.
It's actually not. It's really not that bad though. Right. It's really not that bad. But I just found it kind of interesting, like, at her level, she should be able to bypass community service.
Oh, yeah, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Charleston White said that Megan Thee Stallion lied on Tory Lanez.
Nah.
Yeah, he definitely
I think he had a fight. He got into a fight in prison, man. Tory Lanez.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna be too. It's not. I don't know. It's not gonna be.
They're going. I mean, he's a short guy, man. I think they're gonna test his gangster like almost immediately. Like, you really about that life? What's really good, man? I think I might need your lunch, man. Let me get your lunch, man.
Remember that other rapper that he was
Nah.
They ran up on him. They caught him.
Tory Lanez caught him.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Canada,
apologized.
Right? I'm only a rapper, man. I'm not really about that life, man. All that, stuff. You know what I mean? I got a gun this big.
Yeah, whatever happened to him, man? I want to find that guy right there. See what's going on with him, man. But yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Outside of that, anything new from Trump?
Nah, but Flesh Bones told Nelly to chill, man, about the, take the drugs, following, Gangsta Boo's death,
Because what, the twitching thing that was happening on this concert, did you peep that?
Nah, I ain't peeped that. He was twitching.
About it?
Nah.
Yeah. His fans were worried about it. He was like twitching or something on stage.
Oh, wow.
So why, what you say about the drugs now?
Flesh Bones from what's that group called? Bone Thugs and Harmony.
I didn't even know there was a Flesh Bone. But
Yeah.
I took a while.
Flesh and Bones, warns Nelly, be like, yo, look, man, chill on them drugs, you know what I'm saying, following what happened to Gangsta Boo. So, I think that's a friendly reminder.
That's man. That's connected to what I'm talking about.
You gotta be,
that just popped up in the media or whatever, like, yo, this dude was passes doing these drugs. I don't even know about Nelly. Nelly old now.
But Nelly, he's clean. Like Nelly clean.
Might be something else.
Yeah, but Nelly clean. You know what I mean? Like he don't even look like that type that be popping pills, drinking lean, and you know what I mean. But they were like, yo man, be easy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be easy before you just get found slumped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think drug thing. There's no way. That's no way. Like, yeah. Yeah, that's Nino saying, yeah, that y'all on YouTube. Yeah, we on YouTube.
Yo, right Nino, what's good, bro? What's poppin', man? What's going on, man?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we out here, man. Just talking about the latest and the greatest. You know what I'm saying? They don't found what is it called? A dinosaur. Just the dinosaur in the middle of nowhere shocked the whole world. You know what I mean? Like a big old dinosaur that is found in the middle of nowhere. Like I wonder where they found it though.
A dinosaur.
They found the whole dinosaur
right
in the middle of, let me see. The news says man discovered in the middle of nowhere shocked the whole world, which was a dinosaur. You know what I mean? I guess I think it was like huge, like this huge, you know, this huge dinosaur.
Happy Chinese New Year, by
Oh,
the way.
yo, it's the Chinese New Year, yo. December, what's
Yeah.
this? January what?
Yeah, that's the background. But
Yeah,
continue.
but what's the January? What date is it? January
21st.
what? January 21st.
I think tomorrow's the New Year, so this might be New Year's Eve. We're gonna continue what you're talking about.
So, is it today or tomorrow?
I think it's the New Year's tomorrow, but you know, Happy New Year's Eve. I think people say Happy New Year's, right?
Yeah, but it's the fact that it's 21 days or 22 days after the first of our
They
New
got their
Year's.
own calendar.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's
Right.
pretty interesting.
Right.
Anyway, they found the
We
dinosaur.
on the Gregorian calendar.
Exactly.
Right. So they got their own Chinese calendar dealing with a lunar year. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
It's a whole lunar year thing. I don't know how to count the days on that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's different. They got their own thing. You know, like everybody should have their own thing. Yeah?
Right. I mean, sure. Our New Year is June 26th. You know what I mean? That's our New Year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that's when our tribe was found, June 26th. Anyway, they found the dinosaur, man. And it's like this dude is like as big and like this huge, one of the museum dinosaurs that you see, but it's still on the ground. So they found it in Scotland. And they found the dinosaur in Scotland. You know what I mean? Like in the middle of nowhere in Scotland. So I just found it kind of, so you know, dinosaurs.
Who's saying that they don't exist? The flat Earth people or the Hebrew? Say that?
I mean, the same people that don't believe aliens exist, or you know.
Nah, that's not true. People that don't believe aliens but do believe in the dinosaurs. Because dinosaurs, as opposed aliens, is not taught to you in school.
But
Dinosaurs
are
taught to you in first, second, third grade. You taught that dinosaurs is for real.
Okay.
But you're definitely not taught that there's any type of life outside of the planet unless you're lucky to have a teacher that goes into something like that. I personally didn't. I don't even think we talked about space much. I mean, you know what I mean? Like maybe I can't even really remember. I know obviously I had to learn something about the solar system. I did, but I don't remember anything like particular where there was somebody going into detail about the different star systems, tying anything into what's it called? So, like I was saying, they don't tie it into nothing like that. You would even be like, okay, you know, findings on the planet, so on and so forth.
Right.
Yeah. So like, you know, they don't talk nothing about that, but they talk about the dinosaurs, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess even though so I guess they trying to yeah. So that's the whole thing about evolution. And what's the man name from the early 1900s that had the whole theory or whatever? Darwin
theory.
Darwinism and all of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? So they more so on that mindset than they are talking about extraterrestrials and things of that nature.
But you know what? You know what's interesting? Going back to 21 Savage, I saw a video online saying that he got arrested.
Even though he didn't.
Even though
I
he
Googled
didn't.
it.
Yeah, but he didn't get arrested. But you know, a lot of truth in that video was like, you know, how they could probably, you know, arrest him for terrorist threats. So anybody that knows 21 Savage, man, talk to that dude, man.
Yeah, but like we said on the last show, man, it was a joke. It wasn't even a joke. It was acted. It was staged, man. These guys are in entertainment, so they're supposed to say, yo, this thing was staged. But definitely somebody should get in this and be like, yo, don't, you know, come on, man. Like, you got to have more sense than that. But I do think he got more sense than that, and I do think it was staged. That's what I think.
Well, for what? More views? More record sales?
Most definitely.
I could dig it.
Definitely.
I could dig it.
Most definitely. Like I was in this room with the African Americans and the Africans. When he gets up on there in Clubhouse, he just start airing anybody out, and you know, and then before you know it, they sharing his conversation pieces
right.
all over the internet,
Right.
And it's crazy, you know. So I think that's the mindset, man.
Bad
competition, you know, and versing is what builds, you know, what get people to want to watch and tap in.
Got it. What do you think about 21 Savage? Who you have in battle?
21 Savage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even really want to. I wouldn't, you know, no disrespect, but I wouldn't want to hear 21 Savage battle. But you know, because just the, you know, because we know, I know we get a lot of people to watch it. It would be against somebody like, oh man, who else? Sounds like. Sounds like
He just
that.
yawned on
Lil
21
Durk.
Savage just now.
Lil
Man.
Durk.
Damn, man.
Oh man, it's got the whole beef going on right now. It'll be Lil Durk.
Oh,
Well, you know, the
that's what that's
Chicago
about.
thing.
That's
No,
Chicago
it's not
thing.
about Lil
Okay.
Durk. It's
All right.
not beefing with 21 Savage, but
Okay.
Lil Durk versus 21 Savage. Lil Durk got the songs with Drake. 21 Savage got the songs with Drake. But you know, I mean, Lil Durk sound to me, he ride the beat a little better than 21 Savage though.
Okay, so you said 21 Savage, huh? And Lil Durk.
Yeah, but 21 Savage don't ride the beat too well, so I wouldn't want to necessarily hear that guy, you know, competing. You know what I'm saying? Like he definitely would have to step his. But you know what? Who am I to say when he's a millionaire off of music right now? What am I
Millionaire
talking
for
about?
music. He's definitely out there. Him
Multi-millionaire.
And was it NBA YoungBoy, right?
Uh-huh.
Them guys is doing numbers. I think
Uh-huh.
NBA YoungBoy got something like a billion streams.
Oh, yeah.
Something mean.
Yeah, something crazy.
Wow.
Something crazy. Well, yeah, but I wouldn't want to hear none of that though. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, but going back to what they don't tie in, you know, extraterrestrials or any of that into what's happening on the planet, like Tesla. Think about Nikola Tesla. They don't even teach about. I don't know about y'all. Maybe the new Generation X, we ain't learned nothing about Tesla. You had to learn about Tesla.
Who's Tesla?
Nikola Tesla.
I mean, who is he?
By now, people know who he is. He had the electro, or whatever it's called. He was able to produce free energy.
Mm-hmm.
What else was he able to do? He was just a popular scientist. I mean, I can't even tell you everything that he was able to do.
He was responsible for the telescope.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Telescope, Tesla.
Got it. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's
I
a
think
big
he had
deal.
a Tesla scope.
Tesla scope. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think so. I
telescope,
do think I recall that. Yeah. What else? I just remember the free energy, and I remember the competition with.
Yeah, because it went from AC and
Tom
DC direct current. Tom Edison had, and then he brought in alternative current, which is AC, which is what it's really used in today's electricity. Edison had direct current, and he had alternating current.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I just thought he was competing. I remember they even had a movie about it.
They said he was an alien.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I got into it. You know what I'm saying? The whole point of him being a Venusian and the Men in Black. If you go look up the Men in Black, you know, which they talk about. Oh, Dan Aykroyd talks about it a lot.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, because you know when he started talking about extraterrestrials, even though he's doing his thing right now, this guy got this liquor, you know, alcohol, man. That might be the business to be in. But either way, you know,
it really is.
No, seriously, he's killing them. Like the amount of sales he's done over the last since he's been out of the entertainment business. That's the business he's been in.
Alcohol?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got some sort of, matter of fact, it's based around these moon rocks or some rocks that was found in some Native American joints. You know, some dealing definitely with like, you know, extraterrestrials and this. Oh, these crystals, the crystal skulls. You can look it up. Like you got these crystal skulls found in these different places around North America, and then people are like, oh no, that looked like that was made by, you know, like recent, like, you know what I'm talking about, like in the 1900s. You know what I'm saying? But it was said that they were discovered around these Native American families and or tribes or whatever, and that they may have been, you know, from their ancestors, and you know, the Native Americans also identify with extraterrestrials as the Anasazi, right? And I guess it depends on what tribe you're talking about, depends on what kind of what title they give it or whatever.
That's crazy.
But the point about so Tesla was somebody that Men in Black came after.
They got him out of there. They got him out of there.
Yeah, exactly. What happened.
You know what I mean? So, but I think that's interesting because the fact that he was here, he lived, he participated in everyday society. You know what I mean? And created inventions. Was known for his intellect. And then also was even identified as a person from another planet, Venus to be specific. So that's why they called him a Venusian. You know what I mean? I think that's very interesting to say that there's been other people or beings or, you know, or extraterrestrials that's been on this planet look just like you, which would be considered a human, but is really extraterrestrial, looks like you, but it's from someplace different. And I think that's something to really identify or think about, because who else that's been around that you just looks totally normal, but it's just not from here. I think that's something to think about.
I mean, that goes back to They Live. I don't know if you ever seen that movie with what's the man name? I want to say Peter Piper, but that's the song. But what's Peter? What's the name of that wrestler? The wrestler was in it, man. But there was a movie called They Live, and it was wearing the glasses. And then when you put the glasses on, you could see, who these people were or whatever. But he's another guy. He was a wrestler during the time of Hulk Hogan and all of that. And he's another guy that got heavy into identifying the fact that there was extraterrestrials. And before you know it, he jumped into the movie They Live. And then he really started submerging himself into what was happening.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, he was no longer around. Like,
Facts,
you know what I'm talking about? Like,
facts,
he was no
facts.
longer in the public.
Facts.
What's the name of that movie? They Live.
They Live,
Actor. And I can tell you what the name of the actor was in that joint. Roddy Piper.
Right.
Man, I don't know if y'all remember him, man.
Yeah.
He was a super popular wrestler during that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of a sudden, he started talking his stuff, and he is no longer around or no longer in the public eye. So I mean, but yeah, man, they don't talk nothing about that. They don't want us to see or understand what's actually taking place. And obviously, that's one of the reasons of even having a one world government, in order to be able to interact with the other one world governments that exist. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but haircuts is a pretty popular thing. And I always used to think that women spend a lot of money on their hairdos, like thousands of dollars. But I didn't know, like for a single haircut.
Oh, he died. I didn't even know he died.
Oh, Roddy Piper?
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, man. 2015, 61. That's pretty young.
Yeah, man. Bye. But YK Osiris, man, he pays $1,000 for a haircut.
I love his name.
Man, Osiris, right? YK Osiris. He pays $1,000 for his haircuts, man. I thought that's pretty interesting, man.
Have you listened to any of his music? They say he's lyrical, but the thing about it is, I love his name. I love the fact that he's putting that up in there, because it ain't really too many people in this generation that's even
identify with Osiris.
That's identifying with anything that make you really think.
Right.
I'm talking about, like identifying our Egyptian gods or African deities and stuff like that. Can you think anybody else?
No.
Like I don't know.
I mean, Old Dirty Bastard said he was the Osiris of this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the Osiris of this.
Exactly. Even into the people in Europe, because really it's a lot of young stuff like that.
Cases and they so they keep that case closed or.
Well, I think it's more popular now, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know. I just see the beads on everybody. Maybe the beads have another meaning, because I don't know what the hell what's going on within the gang world or whatever. But I do be seeing what they call them lekes,
right?
Shango colors, the red and white and stuff like that. But I still don't really hear nobody incorporating it in the music.
Right.
I haven't heard nobody really talk about it in the music. Maybe Young Thug in them, because I think I could be wrong, but I think it's like the Bloods was putting that involving that into their
lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in New York, from what I've been seeing it. Again, that's not what I necessarily had a conversation with anybody about. But when I see it, I'm like, okay. I never saw that on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Even though the West Coast got they got that other movement. And there's another movement, another African movement in West Coast, the Uhuru House. Yeah, they over there in the West Coast, and I remember hearing that from Amir. He was all breaking down the Uhuru House and stuff like that, and they tap into, they start talking about that connection and bridging that gap between Africa and America. Specifically what, I'm not too sure, but again, that guy, Bounty Hunter J, right? I think that's his name.
Right.
He also, if I'm correct, mentioned them when he talked about going to Africa. But I know that they're popular in the West Coast. I'll look them up so I can give y'all a little more information on them. But I still never really saw that anything like that intertwined in gang culture on the West Coast.
Okay.
I don't recall seeing that before.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But my point is, why is that not in the music? You know what I'm saying? Right. They don't incorporate none of that, which I think they should.
That's crazy.
Get people thinking or whatever,
Yeah. I mean, you want to be in a space where you're thinking, man. Hey, yo, this is debatable. Like, share, comment. You know what I mean? This is where we at. Hey, you know who else got $1,000 haircut?
Who?
Sean Combs.
Oh, I can see that, man. He got the money for that, you know what I'm saying?
$1,000 haircut.
That's like what, every what, once a week? Well, I'm sure he once a week on his cut.
$1,000 haircut.
I'm sure he once a week on that cut.
You know who else has got $1,000 haircut?
Who else?
His son, King
I
Kong.
mean, they got it like that, man. Like, they got it like that.
$1,000 haircut.
They got it like that, man.
You know what else?
Like that.
I got an expensive haircut.
All right, so somebody making $50K a year just off of cutting Diddy hair. That's pretty interesting.
That's interesting, right?
What? Use the who has propaganda. Bang, 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 bang. The FBI, Russian national, used the Uhuru House for propaganda. I'm about to go ahead and look more, get some information for y'all, but goodness. 29th, 2022. And they got the red, black, and green. Pan-Africanism.
Oh, wow.
Movement is an American-based socialist and African internationalist movement founded in 1972 by the African People's Socialist Party, whose chairman is Omali Yeshitela. And if anybody knows any more about this, definitely tap in, put something in the messages so we can learn some more. It is centered on the theory of African internationalism, which it says provides a historical materialist explanation for the social and economic conditions of African people worldwide. So the whole movement, political theories, African internationalism, areas of work, political organizations, community organizations, media, Black Power. Oh, so they're big in Petersburg. Was that St. Petersburg, Florida? And that's what I saw that was an issue with the whole Russian national guy. The whole movement has been accused by state prosecutors of collaborating with alleged Russian foreign agent Alexander Viktorovich to sow social divisions in the United States.
That's crazy.
That's definitely crazy. Let's see what the
That's like using Twitter or LA. Facebook to create mayhem.
Uhuru House in LA. Yeah, so they have one on 8,000. I'm not gonna get their address out. Y'all can look it up if y'all want. But they're in LA. So yeah, either which way, my point is, I don't hear too much of people tapping into Yoruba and stuff like that in music, right? I don't never hear nobody rap about it. That's the thing about that's how Cass is on that road, because y'all can rap about everything else. Cass is even into Yoruba. They wearing this stuff and they still not talking about it. So like it's definitely saying like there's an issue with how we communicate and what we talking about, because really that's our magic, meaning like what I like about when you watch what's that thing called Chinese flicks, it's about martial arts. That's their shit. You know what I'm talking about? What's it called? The Europeans, what are they known for?
Selling drugs.
Oh yeah, I mean, they did it in the media. They painted us as the drug dealers. They didn't paint themselves as the drug dealers.
But I'm saying,
right?
Big Pharma.
The average person watching this doesn't know what big. Tell them what Big Pharma is. Let them know.
The pharmaceutical department, man. Like the pharmacies get a lot of these drugs administered or accepted by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. And so these companies like Kaiser and Johnson and Johnson and Bill Gates, they petition these companies. They petition or lobby to allow their drugs to exist. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Percocets or Viagra or whatever it is, and then they market it. They have the marketing dollars to do what they want. Just like the vaccines. If you have any adverse effect to a vaccine, you can't even say this made me sick. You know what I'm saying? Because within their lobbying and their acceptance, they're allowed to put whatever they want out there. It could kill you, it could make you sick, retard you.
That's a fact. My man, you remember at the end of the commercials when they start reading up long list, the long list of the what they call effects, the side effects.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, but that's what pharma is, and it's like this drugs, bro. Right. It's straight up and down drugs, and then like. The more drugs you take, it is just like infest your kidney. You know what I'm saying? And then you got your kidney gives out, and it's big pharma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean,
but I just had the Gilly the Kid moment.
No, but I don't think pharma. Yeah, but I don't think they know. I don't think. Like I said, I don't think the average person is really into what big pharma is because I don't think I have if you're not really doing no type of real due diligence, people don't even really know what's going on with that. Like with them, how much money is made, but maybe not. But I would think that they're more so known for violence. Violent movies.
Oh,
I'm trying to
movies
think.
or this period?
Look. I'm trying,
I
I'm
mean,
trying to think.
is it for real or for fake?
Hey,
Because they are violent. They are like kind of pretty violent people. Like
my point was China is known for martial arts, right?
Okay.
Africa is known for African science, right?
Okay.
What is the Europeans known for? Like, what is their like what is their thing? Because I was really just trying
killers.
to make an example of it.
They
Serial
kill-
killing?
They
That
kill
might
us.
be
They kill us.
Well, I mean, people killing the martial arts movie, so
Yeah, but they kill for nothing. Like
Okay.
Like they met up with the Native Americans, gave them smallpox, and killed them.
oh, I know what it is. I think I got it. I think I'm trying to find the right word for it. Demons.
Demons.
Yeah, that's their whole shit is like demons, exorcists. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause even when you talk about what's it
Word.
ghosts, all that, you know what I mean? Like that's they shit. Like you don't be
They
seeing
call
like
when they all in black and black nails and like
goth.
Goth,
Yeah, like
goth.
that might be it, right? Like I think that's their thing. Like from Europe, think about it. That's like, come on, that go back all the way to the Dark Ages. The whole thing about it, So I'm just saying, when it comes to when you identify, like just try to look to see what in popular culture. So for us, of course, Africans in America, we don't really. We're just now starting to tap into that African science, I'm talking about, which is I mean, it's powerful because you look at, not saying that extraterrestrials didn't have something to do with the pyramids, but still those was Africans that those extraterrestrials was working with, for those that say that, and it was definitely, obviously it was connected because the way that the pyramids, what's it called, are aligned with the stars and all of that. Was it the Orion belt? The three pyramids of Giza are aligned with the belt of Orion. So the way it was formulated, and then what it would, I think the purpose of it. What was the purpose of the pyramids again?
the purpose of the pyramids is the magnetic. It says it's a magnetic pull, and it's like a what is it called? Like a beacon, because the top of the pyramid would be emanate this light,
Those rays, right.
those rays or what have you, because they typically had a crystal on the top of the pyramid, you know what I mean,
And the limestone, and when the light hit all four sides, it would do, what was that? Columnar waves?
Kundalini, like columnar waves, but what happened? But the main thing was like it was put in different parts of the earth to hold the earth together based on its magnetic pull, because of that action of these lights that emanate, and you can see it from the space.
Right, and
so
I wonder, are they connected to the pyramids on Mars?
I would think so, because like the same people that built them on Mars built them over here. So it's just like it's just like a graffiti or a tag.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? You tag, you put your mark up right there. Then wherever you're traveling, you're able to see, okay, that mark, or you relate to that mark, or what have you. You know what I mean?
You start getting into the Sumerian doctrine and stuff like that. They start talking about the guy, Anu.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And and then so the Inkian and Lil story is also not just them, which is like the Cain and Abel story. Right? Two brothers beefing or whatever, right? But then you had Alelu and Anu, who was beefing.
They also beef, right?
Who's brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So basically it talks about Alelu being on this planet, right? And he was in South America, Puma Punka. You follow what I'm talking about? I think that's the name of the area where they called Atlantis during that time. And so they came and settled here. And this is like a story on tablets or whatever. And Zachariah Sitchin wrote about it. You can look him up, and you also
Zachariah Sitchin.
Yeah, that's Stitch, exactly. You can look up Dr. Malachi York. Obviously, he wrote about it. It's a plethora of people that wrote the story or whatever. But then what I was liking about Dr. York was talking about is that they went to Mars, Alelu and them, because when Inky and them came here, you know what I'm saying, and like Inky married his daughter, so he was like, yo, marry my daughter so we can keep peace with your father.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Truce.
Yeah, and then Lil was like, nah, F that peace or whatever. So he had to leave, and he went to where? He went to Mars and brought with him the Olmecs, the Mayans, and the Aztecs. You know what I'm saying? Because they was wondering what happened to the Mayans and the Aztecs. I found that really interesting. But either which way, we digressed. But we were talking about African science, right? And explaining that, and then, of course we were saying, yeah, you had the pyramids and you did have extraterrestrials involved, and again, whatever you want to believe, but it's enough evidence to say that there definitely was extraterrestrials involved. But they was working along with the Africans that was right there in that part of the planet, and when they left certain sciences with them, and we know that because of the doggone, right, the doggone people in Mali, where what's your man at? Russell Simmons is at. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Allegedly.
What? I mean, everybody know he's in Mali. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you mean allegedly running from a charge? But listen, he did the right thing. You know what I'm saying? If I was him, I would definitely be staying out there, man. It's all about, forget that. It's all about your freedom. But yeah. So either which way, my point is we should be embracing that science, and the Native Americans had it too. They had it too with the rain dance,
right.
with the different.
They also called on Anunnaki as well.
They also called on their ancestors. You follow what I'm talking about? And yeah, so you don't, that's what you see for us. So my point, that should be in the music. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be something that you're using it, for protection so you don't get locked up. But why don't you talk about it? Get people thinking more, and then that helps bridge the gap between Africans in America and Africans on the continent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense, man. Total sense, man. With that being said, you guys gotta really take responsibility, man. I'm talking about these OGs, man. Like these guys is older. If he was a '70s baby, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take responsibility to talk to these young guys and let them know what it really is. If you're in a neighborhood, you run in that neighborhood, you have influence. You got these little guys that grew up under you that's considered pups. These are your pups that you raised.
Right.
You gotta put something inside them, man. Let them know what's really good. You know what I mean? Like, morals, a mindset. Stuff that if they can't get it from home and they come up under you.
Right.
They spend 10, 15 hours up under you on the block, and then y'all smoking, y'all drinking, or whatever the case is. Man, you gotta be responsible, bro. And it's not about searching out for an op to take away this block or doing this, man. You got to be able to let them know what's really, really good, man. Take responsibility so you can protect.
A lot of them don't know, though, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro.
The older guys,
God, dog. Oh, the older guys. There's a disconnect between the young and the old.
Yeah, but the older guys has a responsibility. You have a responsibility. If you're 40 years old, if you're 40 years old, you have a responsibility to tell the youth what's really going on.
Yeah.
That this drill music ain't it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Going out here shooting people, stabbing people, slicing people, that ain't it. You have because you know it's not it. If you didn't do time, if you did time, or whatever the case is, you know it's not it. So you're responsible to tell the young guys it's not it.
Nah, that's a fact, man. And then ever since they opened up that that Hadron Collider, right? I can look it up. It's the Hadron Collider. It was in Europe, right? It's in Europe right now, and it's what's it called, to detect like black. What's it called? Matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was busting down the atom, right? What it exactly did? It
created a black hole.
Yeah, exactly. So then
on Earth.
And they was opening up vortexes. You follow what I'm saying? Yo, look it up. All of a sudden, y'all gotta listen how the music sound. All of a sudden, it sound like, it sound like The Walking Dead. Think about everything is about the dead. Think about, and that's another thing that European culture be pushing. They be pushing the skulls, the bones. Think about their secret society. It's called the Skull and Bones. You follow what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it's called the Skull and Bones. Then it went from, and again, and that's where these frequencies, and cats don't even be knowing. You got extraterrestrials that be tapping in, so you're not in your own mind. Listen, whatever. Y'all believe what y'all want, but you got, whether it's what's them poles that used to be up that they be hiding, they put the trees around them, it's fake.
Yeah.
What's it called? If you ever notice, there be these fake trees in the neighborhood, right? And if you look, it's actually an antenna, and it's sending off waves and frequencies and influencing us.
Right.
So the point is that something was opened up, right? Even before the Hadron Collider, because I think that came in like '08 or something like that, if I'm correct. But before '08, like around '05, '06 is when they started wearing the skulls or was it the same year, '08? I might have to check that out. The Skull and Bone thing, because as soon as that happened, again, like I said, the Skull and Bones came into the what's it called, the culture of hip hop. Then all of a sudden the zombie thing is all talked about, CDC,
Right.
Walking Dead,
Right.
all these different movies talking about zombies. Then the music starting to sound like, yo, like it's straight demon music. Like, yo, listen to the beats. Now I know back when we was young in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, even with MC War, we try to get beats that, you know what I'm saying, make you think, like, like got that feeling, but God damn, like we ain't trying to
Straight thriller.
yo, for real, like, yo, listen, man. So like, yo, what we gonna do about it? Like, so, but the thing is,
Gotta take responsibility, man.
it starts with knowing, knowing, opening your mind. Okay, like there's other influences there's other things happening. It's other agendas. It's more than just.
Gotta take responsibility.
It's
man.
more than just a white black agenda. You follow what I'm talking about?
That's
You got
the biggest
extraterrestrial agenda.
That's the biggest farce.
Yeah,
right
that's a fact, because when it all busts down, when it is what's that thing called, when it's gonna be martial law, because what's them called, what they call
Militias?
the militia groups, like they mad at the government. You
Right.
follow what I'm talking about? They white. You follow what I'm talking about? So,
Right.
so there's gonna be a point that everybody gonna be like, yo, the police, everybody gonna be like, yo, what the hell are we even, who are we protecting?
Right.
And you protecting, they're protecting an elite few. We all working for that elite few. You know what I'm talking about? Especially in America. You follow what I'm talking about? Now in the other parts of the world, we empowering the elite few, yet they really occupying the space of the United States, Europe. That's their space, man.
Yeah, we just gotta.
Right.
I go back to responsibility.
Yeah, definitely.
You wake up out your bed, man. You gotta make your bed, man. If the floor is dirty, you gotta sweep it up, man.
That's a
If
fact.
the house is looking crazy, you can't invite nobody inside your house if your house is looking crazy.
That's a
gotta
fact.
take responsibility, man.
What's the word for that? There
Gotta
was a
take
word for do
responsibility.
for self and con.
Yeah, gotta be able to do for self and con.
That's
man.
an old. That's
So
a
you gotta be able to do for self and con, because I'm talking about the youth,
Right.
these kids, man.
Right.
Between 10 and 15-year-old, between 10 and 15, because you figure if they 10 years before that, 10 years old, if you got any children, if you don't have any children, if you got brothers and sisters, from the time they were born to the time they were 10 years old, is a level of them just absorbing and learning and taking everything out. From 10 to 15 years old, between 10, 15, 16 years old, those years right there, they're starting to take decisions and doing things based on what they see and learn, who they talk to. They mimic the rap songs, they mimic the outfits, they're mimicking. You know what I'm saying? And then now they are doing these things for acceptance. So you go to school for a gun, right? You go to school with a gun, so your friends can see you got a gun. Guns goes off, hit another kid, it kills it. That kid is dead, and the other kid is out of here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's a level of responsibility that gotta be taken. Because now these young kids, everybody's a rapper, right? Not everybody's a rapper, because the other portion of people is the basketball players. And the other portion of people, the football players. And then you got some that want to be actors. But my point is, the ones that want to be rappers, they influencing the basketball players and the football players and everybody else. And these little rappers are talking about what? Killing, getting high, killing, getting high. It's not a good look, man. It's just not a good look for our people, to the point where Young Thug is sitting there in court and your man come through and give him a Percocet, because that's rap culture. That's what rap culture is all about. You know what I'm saying? He's in court fighting his case, fighting for his life, right? Another rapper or another peer come give him a pill.
right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Gotta do better, man.
That's a
Gotta
fact.
do better.
That's a fact. All right, man. Yo, we'll be back tomorrow. We appreciate y'all, man. Definitely like, share, comment,
Debatable.
debate. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, right.